WFNZ.
I do believe I'm feeling stronger every day.
News Talk 640 WFNZ. Kirk deVIERE is on screen. If you're watching us on our podcast on my Fayetteville, not Fayetteville, on our Facebook page and my YouTube channel as well. Always good to have you here. But joining us beside you today is a future Cumberland County Commissioner. Oh, she just happened to be here the last time. And Kirk...
just changed the title.
She just had to change the title, brought you back in here because Sheila Cuffey is going to be a Cumberland County Commissioner.
Correct.
And so we're going to break this down for you. You have no opposition. So at this point, you are not a Cumberland County Commissioner-elect yet because you have to be elected during the general election, which will take place in November. But because you have no opposition, then you're going to be one. So you're a future Cumberland County Commissioner. And Kirk said, hey, sit here. Was she at the meeting last night, too, as well?
She was at the meeting. She's been at all the meetings. I mean, as she should, getting up to speed on all the issues. That not that she wasn't before, but hearing the latest and greatest in the conversations around what's happening at our board meetings. She's been at committee meetings. I think she's, as we were talking about off mic, keeping pace with keep doing all the things that the commissioners are doing.
Well, you kind of have to do that because just like any political organization, they don't stop and wait for you to get up to snuff. You got to get up to snuff and know what you're doing, and hopefully you are up to snuff as you run for the office as well, so you can get a sense of what's going on here.
Yeah, that continuity and being able to hit the ground running is important. It's important as we go into budget season, understanding the decisions we're going to that we're going to be making during the budget season are going to impact Ms. Cuffey as she goes, as she takes office at the end of the year. So it's important that she hears it and quite frankly, I mean, has dialogue with us as well. I know I'm open to hearing her opinion on things because and her input and based on her experiences because it's she's going to be dealing with it next year.
Sheila, you ran a pretty aggressive kind of campaign just to get your name out there, but everybody's known you for some time because you've been involved with a lot of things here. Were you surprised that you won?
And was a top vote getter.
No, I knew that. I was going to, but you were the top vote getter. But was there any surprise? Yes, with it. Yeah, right. Who did you beat?
Incumbents.
With several, one incumbent in the seat,
and several opponents,
but several previous electeds.
Yeah, I surprised and not surprised. I was pretty confident that this is my calling, and so through faith, I was pretty confident that I would be there. But the element of surprise was the amount of votes, and just to be 8 votes shy of the incumbent, Commissioner Adams, that in itself was, to me, a feat.
Well, it says an awful lot about the person that you are, and I guess the person that the county expects you to be once you actually get on there. And Kirk, you shake your head to that because you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're a guy who has you had your political ups and downs.
That's right.
You were city council. You were defeated in your run for. No, you were on the state.
I was on city council. I was on city council and ran for mayor, lost for mayor.
Right.
Became a state senator. Defeated a 4-term incumbent. And then we won't rehash the story of my senatorial primary where the governor endorsed my opponent. But lost the primary and then had an opportunity to run for county commissioner and continue to serve, which is what people like I do and people like Ms. Cuffey does. And so we offer ourselves up to serve because we still have good work to do for the community. So that's kind of where we are. But we got some good stuff from our meetings over the last few days.
And look, and that's what I want to get to right now. She'll stand by for a second. Kirk, you normally come in right after you have a meeting. Was there a meeting yesterday?
Well, we had a continuation of a meeting. So we had our agenda session last Thursday, and we adjourned it to yesterday to finish the meeting because we needed, just from time and lack of quorum, we needed because people had things they needed to go to. So we finished up the meeting yesterday. A couple A couple things came out of the meeting last week. We had a discussion around our Department of Health and DSS and how they're organized and how we're delivering level of service to our citizens. A lot of people are calling it consolidation. I think there's a lot of options that we're looking at. So there was a vigorous conversation around that. Unfortunately, we had an update coming from the School of Government, but she wasn't able. We had some technical difficulties, so we're bringing her back to get an update on that. But just some good input. It's just that was a discussion. And then yesterday we finished up another key point. I know a lot of talk about moratorium, or a lot of talks about data centers right now. We set a public hearing yesterday for our May evening meeting, May 14th, to have a public hearing on a moratorium for a data center. We've not defined that moratorium. We wanted to get that public hearing in place. We're still working. Our commissioners had several questions for our attorney and manager yesterday to provide us some feedback so we could begin to shape that what that moratorium would look like. But we're going to have a public hearing around it.
Yeah, there's several communities. I know. I think I don't know if it's Chapel Hill.
12 across the county, across the state right now.
That have a moratorium on the data centers, wanting more time to do exactly what you're talking about, and at least having an opportunity to put some regulations in place to see what we're going to get and what we're going to allow and that kind of thing. But I've talked with the mayor about this. He's pretty much on board on getting one, and he looks at the positive outweighing of the negatives associated with having these centers come into place. Your take on what they bring and what you think this should be?
I think it's important that our community shapes the development in the industry that comes to our community. And the way we do that is through ordinances. Look, I mean, right now, a private company could come in, they could sign an agreement with a utility company, they could buy the land, they could do everything they need to do, and we don't have a way to control or shape the impact that has on our community. We need to have ordinances in place that allows us to shape that outcome. And a moratorium provides us two things. One, it provides us the time to be able to do that, which is extremely important. And if you want to look at it, people say, oh, that's not business friendly. Well, if you want to flip at it and look at it the other way, the thing that it does is it allows, if industry does come to town based on the eventual ordinance that you put in town, it kind of already clears it clears the conversation and is more welcoming for the businesses because they know what the expectation is. They know we have to do X, Y, Z. They know the community is concerned about certain things. So when people say it's not business friendly, I'll push back on that. I think this is a conversation that our community should have, must have, because we're responsible for the development of our community, and the only way that government can shape that is through some type of regulation like ordinances.
So, and moratorium is going to get in place, which means I don't know what the time period might be, but clearly, Sheila, you will probably be on board by the time this issue comes up for some type of vote. Your take on this? Have you had a chance to study it a little bit?
I have been looking into it. I have attended just about every data center
You and me both.
training or discussion that's been around town. And clearly, the moratorium is the way to begin. We have to have a path. And so for me, by us deciding to do the moratorium, as Chairman just spoke, it gives us that time to do the research. It gives us that time to discuss with the School of Government what can and cannot be done. And as we shape this, it gives us opportunity to look into other counties, not only in North Carolina, but let's look at what happened in Alabama. Let's look at Huntsville. They grew one of the largest super data centers, and now not everyone is happy about it. So what are the drawbacks? And so that gives us that time to pause and say, hey, team, let's get clarity on this.
Well, look, I'm not going to beat this down because we can talk about this every week.
It's going to be a conversation going on for a long time.
Right.
I mean, we're going to go to the moratorium. We got to talk about what's going to be in the moratorium. The my colleagues last night asked for things like we want to see the other moratoriums, we want a further definition of what a data center is, and we want to understand what we can put in place in the moratorium. So we're going to shape those things, have a public hearing on it. Again, we don't have to take the vote that night. We just need to have a vote. We need to have a public hearing that we're going to put a moratorium in place as we begin to get those final input. But this board has been very deliberate about a process. We had a public hearing a public comment period where we opened it up. We had 30 people come in. And we stood there in 90 minutes and we listened to the community. We've gone through a very deliberate process. We want to look at a moratorium. We're going to, push the other thing that came out of last night is asking the staff to work with the Joint Planning Commission, because understand the Joint Planning Commission is made up of all the other municipalities except for Fayetteville. So if and they have a mechanism to do ordinance review. So we're asking them to work with them to make sure all municipalities, the community input is heard. And so we've been very deliberate about a process.
All right. Look, you've been...
See how quickly that goes?
Yeah, but you know what? You're very gracious to share your time with a future Cumberland County Commissioner, and your time is about to run out, and I normally give you the boot. The neat thing about what's happening now is we have you every week.
That's right.
And so we have dialogue over the course of a month that really informs the community, Cumberland County segment of our community, not just Fayetteville, because we got the mayor every Thursday, but we have an opportunity for you to chat about things that are important to county residents as well. Any last thought from you, Kirk? It is your time.
I will just say that I'll always share my mic in my time with colleagues, and especially Miss Cuffey. I've known her for a long time, and looking forward to the experience that she's going to bring and the voice that she's going to bring on in December. So it's going to be, we've got a great team now, and looking forward to the team that we'll have in December as well.
All right, and we appreciate the both of you staying here. You got extra time today. It's going to cost you extra. We'll talk about that on the way out here. Sheila Cuffey and Kirk deVIERE, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Future county commissioner and the chairman of the board. Hey, Kenny, doesn't get any better than this. Come on now. This is Get Central. This is Get Central right here. And this is where you find out about what's going on in Fayetteville and Cumberland County.
Yes.
And we do it with the podcast, and we do it on 103.5 HD2, and also on 640 WFNC. You kind of forget the radio thing because everybody's walking around with their phone, either listening on the radio.
And we're on video everywhere.
Yeah, look, that's right. Let me give you the aerial shot right there. Say, hey, everybody.
And this is the future count. You're on top of these things.
Yeah, I do what I can in my old age before I get out of here. All right, look, we appreciate the two of you. Thank you so much. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC. We've got local weather right now from CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
After a cool start to our Tuesday morning, the rest of the day will be mainly sunny with a high of 73. Overnight will be mostly clear with a low of 48, and Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 86. After a chilly morning, temperatures will quickly start to warm up by Wednesday, with highs returning to the 80s through the end of the week, but we don't have any chance for rain until this weekend. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Okay, Rachel, thank you so much. Right now, still 46 degrees across the board in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also in Godwin. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC.
Always first in News Talk for North Carolina. News Talk 640 WFNC in high def at 103.5 HD2.
May 8th at Gates 4 Country Club, it's the KIRK Clinic's 30th annual Golf Scramble. And just like eggs, they'll crack a few, mix them all up, and now 30 years later, bad putts and great laughs keep doing a whole lot of good. Join the KIRK Clinic for a day of golf, food, prizes, and just enough competition to brag about later. All proceeds support the KIRK Clinic because this tournament actually helps people, even if you're